Parashat Hashavua, Parashat Hashavua, Behar-Bechukotai, Parashat Hashavua, Parashat Hashavua, Behar-Bechukotai. So over the last 2 days, we worked on Parashat Behar. We learned about Shemitah and Yovel. We also learned about how we're supposed to be honest to people and not be deceitful. And also we learned the importance of being kind. Now we're going to learn Parashat Bechukotai. Parashat Bechukotai is also the last parsha in Sefer Vayikra. Can anyone show me with their fingers which Sefer of the Torah is Vayikra? Show me your fingers. You got it. The third. Remember? Let's sing this song about the 5 books of the Torah. Bereshit Shemot Vayikra, Bamidbar Devarim, Chamisha Chumshei Torah, Chamisha Chumshei Torah, Chamisha Chumshei Torah. So Vayikra is the 3rd book of the Torah. So now we're going to read the last parsha in the 3rd book of Torah. And who can tell me what book are we going to start next week? You got it, Bamidbar. After Hashem told the Jewish people all the commandments of the Torah, Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to the Jewish people in Hashem's name. If you follow my laws and keep my commandments, I will give you the best of everything. There will be great reward awaiting you in Olam Haba. Hashem promises us very good things as long as we follow the ways of the Torah. Hashem will bless us with enough rain at the right times. We all know that without rain, the produce cannot grow and we cannot have food to eat. Many years ago, during the time of Rabbi Shimon ben Shittach, the Jewish people were very righteous. They obeyed Hashem's will and kept all of the mitzvot. During those times, rain fell only on Shabbat and Yom Tovim. When the people were indoors, there was much bracha in the crops. Wheat and barley grew to be much, much larger than we see today. Each grain of barley was the size of an olive. All this was because the Jewish people did what Hashem wanted. Hashem also promised that there would be an abundance of food. After eating just a small amount of food, the people would feel full, as if he had eaten a large meal. People can get sick from eating too much, which is why this was such a great bracha. But even if we have all these brachot, enough rain, and plenty of food, how will this help the Jewish people in times of war? What if the enemies come and take everything away? What if the Jewish people are forced to hide in shelters and it is impossible to get all the good food? And what if there is war between the Jewish people? When brothers fight, how can they enjoy the bracha? For this reason, Hashem promised us, and there will be peace upon the land. The Jewish people will live in peace with the nations around them. There will be peace among all the Jewish people. Even wild animals will not be able to harm them. A mashal. There was once a king who hired workers and promised to pay them a good salary. The workers thought to themselves, why should we work hard? Either way, the king is going to pay us, even if we're lazy and we rest most of the time. Can you imagine if somebody just got paid for a job they didn't work hard at? And so it was. The workers wasted their time and accomplished very little each day. There was only one worker who worked hard and he fulfilled the king's orders quickly. When it was time to receive payment, the workers lined up in front of the king. The king pointed to the devoted worker and said, please wait on the side until the other workers get paid. It will not take me long since they will receive very small salaries. You, however, will be receiving a very large money amount. I will sit down with you and calculate exactly how much I owe you for all your work. The same will take place when Bnei Israel and the other nations will come to Hashem for payment for their good deeds. Hashem will say to the Jewish people, wait for a short line until I finish paying the other nations. It will not take long since they kept only a small number of the mitzvot. When I'm through with them, I will spend as much time as necessary to give you, the Jewish people, reward for all the mitzvot you have done. On the other hand, Hashem said also that if chas v'chalila, chas v'shalom, the Jewish people did not follow the Torah and do the mitzvot, Hashem will bring upon us terrible diseases. He will send enemies to fight us, destroy Eretz Yisrael, and send us into Galut. All the good promises Hashem has made to us come with a condition, that we obey His will and we follow the way of the Torah. Here is a story to help us learn this lesson. Zeb hurried workers to build for him a large and beautiful home. Every once in a while, he would go to check on the workers and look at the progress they made. One time, as he was walking over to the building site, he noticed from afar that the house was nearly ready. Zev was so excited with the way the house looked that he said, "This house shall be used for the Beit HaMikdash." Zev did not know that as soon as he uttered those words, the house became holy and he was forbidden to use it. Does this mean that Zev will never be able to live in the house that he spent so much money on? No, it does not. But in order for the house to be permitted for use, a Kohen would have to come and decide how much money the house is worth. Zev must then give that same amount to the money to the Beit HaMikdash. Only then will the house be permitted for Zev to live in. The same thing happens if a person sanctifies himself or someone else for the Beit HaMikdash by saying, Erki Ele, which means whatever I am worth, I will give that amount to the Beit HaMikdash. The Torah tells us exactly how much a person is worth according to his age. If a person dedicated a certain animal as a korban and said that he will bring it to the Beit HaMikdash, he may sacrifice only that animal and may not exchange it for a different one. The only time a person is permitted to change the animal is something happens to the animal, if it gets a blemish, or if it becomes sick, or if it becomes tameh. Ma'aser for an animal. A person who owns animals must always remember that everything, even the animals, come from Hashem. Each year, new animals are born. If a person wants to thank Hashem for all the new animals that he has, how can he do it? If a person has, for example, newborn calves, he must take 1/10 of the amount of the animal that he has and bring them as a korban to the Beit HaMikdash. And that means if he has 10 animals, 10 cows, one of those 10 cows he must bring to the Beit HaMikdash. That's called 1/10, 1 out of 10. In the time of the Beit HaMikdash, the Jewish people were obligated to bring a korbanot to Hashem, 1/10 of the animals they had each year. How was this done? Those who owned livestock would gather all the animals in one closed place and leave only a small opening, large enough for one animal to pass through. The grown animals were placed outside. When each animal would make its own sound, the younger animals inside would hear the mother's call and would push to get out. The owner would stand next to the small opening with a stick in his hand and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When the 10th animal would come out, he would quickly mark it with a bright red color, and he said this would be the one that is Ma'aser. Then he would count another 10 animals and mark the 10th one in red. When he was done marking all the animals that were the 10th in line, he would gather them together and take them to the Beit HaMikdash to bring them for his korban. Even today we fulfill this mitzvah of Ma'aser. We give 1/10 of our earnings to tzedakah. This is our way of thanking Hashem for all the good He gives us. Yaladim, chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. We have completed the entire Sefer Vayikra. Let's take a deep breath and continue learning and gaining knowledge by beginning the Sefer Bamidbar. I'm so proud of you all. While we did this entire book apart, I know that you're all listening and watching, and I'm so proud of you, and may we continue to get stronger and stronger from learning Torah.